For some reason in this world, we tend to look at people who have what we consider success, and we think somehow that they got there because the things were easier for them or they were given opportunities. And maybe in some cases, that's it. But now at this point in my life, I have had an opportunity to learn that most of the individuals I've met who have achieved levels of success, as I define success, not necessarily only monetarily, but achieving goals that they set for themselves or having the connections with individuals that they care about and maintaining those connections for long periods of time. Things that I would see in my life that would be success for me. I realized that they didn't get those because they had opportunities that I haven't had or that things were easier for them. They got them because when things got hard, they didn't give up. When things went sideways, they didn't stop. They always stayed focused and didn't go down with the punches and stay down. They persevered. They picked themselves up every time. And each and every time they ask themselves, what can I learn from what just happened? We came into this podcast with a different topic, and I'm sure we'll get to that topic at some point. But we pivoted because we just encountered one of those same moments. And I think it's important for all of us to take a moment and step back and ask, what's keeping us from whatever we think is success for us in our life? And are we part of that? So, do you want to share any little bit of what happened? We don't have to go into the full thing, but just that there was, well, I'll let you share.
Yeah, just had a really great podcast. Was so excited about it, and I realized that I didn't press record on one of the cameras, and it's kind of important to have that recorded. Otherwise, it's not a full podcast because there are multiple cameras, and that was kind of the main important one. So yeah, not necessarily a supporting camera, but like a main camera. So yeah, really bummed out because it was a really great conversation.
And it's okay because we'll have that really great conversation again. But that's just it. When we have moments that kick us in the teeth, what are we going to do?
Go to the dentist. Definitely.
That would be a good choice.
Yes.
But this is a huge part of it. We have to laugh and find a way through it. Otherwise, it's going to push us down, right? And it's so easy given that we were talking about this statistic too. 98% of the average person's thoughts are negative, right? And then something goes sideways. And of course, the first thing that negative thought or that inner critic wants to do is go, see, I told you.
I mean, we were talking about how is when something is negative, and 98% is a lot of thoughts.
Uh-huh.
And then people are like, well, we'll be positive. Look at the bright side. It's like, well, it's really hard to do that with only 2% capacity.
Uh-huh.
So, it feels like a complete uphill battle.
Yes.
Like, how can I move the needle with 2%? When does that ever happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just want to take that person that's telling you, like, well, just think positive and go and punch them, right? Because I know you probably had to be feeling that way toward me in the moment where I was like, come on, you got to turn this around. in the moment, it's like, but I don't feel like turning it around
Yeah.
because this thing just happened. It all just went sideways. And the worst thing that I thought could happen just happened. And of course, now that negative brain bias is being fed, and it's like, num, 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 num. But that is the exact moment when the people that I started to learn from and said, okay, if you desire to get to what you consider a success metric, you don't have to go from 98% to 50%. You need to go from 98% to 97%. How are you going to go from 98% to 97%? You're going to recognize real time in the moment when it's happening, and you're going to go, okay, I can turn this around.
Mm.
How can I turn this around? I don't have to stop feeling like this is sucky, but I have to take a moment to go, what am I going to do to shift this moment?
Mm.
And suddenly that 98% becomes 97%.